students, we finished with our nervous system. We learned the different parts of our brain and the functions of that those parts, right? So we also learned how cerebrum is the main seat of consciousness because it has all the 5 sense organs. It has a controlling center in the cerebrum, and how the cerebellum maintains the erect posture. Like I'm standing properly, standing erect. Okay, that is because of the cerebellum. We learned how spinal cord helps us and what is the function of spinal cord, the reflex action, reflex arc. And by now we understood the nervous system helps in proper functioning of various organ system. Now the question is whether nervous system alone is enough for us for proper mental and physical growth. Do you think only that nervous system is enough for us? No. Because we have one more system in our body which controls and regulates various functions in our body. Okay, for proper physical and mental growth of our body, we need this system. This system is called endocrine system. It is called endocrine system. So what is this endocrine system? The endocrine system, it is made up of different glands. It is made up of glands called endocrine gland. It is made up of glands called endocrine glands. So before getting into endocrine glands, let us learn what is a gland. What is a gland? Because you know very well, we have different kinds of glands in our body. Okay, we are very much aware of various glands, right? We have glands such as salivary gland, we have, bile, liver is a gland, salivary gland is there, liver is there, gastric glands are there, as well as pancreas. Even pancreas is also a gland. So what is this gland? An oil gland is there, sweat gland is there. So what is a gland? A gland is an organ or a cell which is specialized in producing certain substances. That means it secretes certain substance. That is called a gland. So what is a gland? Gland is an organ. It may be an organ or a cell. Specialized in producing certain secretion. That's the gland. So when we know now, salivary gland, it secretes, it produces. What does it produce? It produces an enzyme. What enzyme? Salivary amylase. Now coming to liver. Liver produces bile juice. Then gastric gland will produce various enzymes like pepsin, renin, even hydrochloric acid also it produces. Pancreas will produce various digestive enzymes. Sweat gland will produce sweat. Okay. So that is a gland. I hope you understood what is a gland. The glands are of two types. The glands are of two types. One is called exocrine glands. One is called exocrine glands. The other one is called endocrine glands. So what is this exocrine gland and endocrine gland? Exocrine glands are those glands which has a duct to carry their secretion. Okay, the glands which have a duct to produce, whichever organ which produces the secretion, they have a duct. Duct means what? A pipe-like structure. Okay, a tube-like structure. Say for example, the liver. Liver produces bile juice, right? So how it is carried? It is sent through the bile duct. Okay, so the glands which has a duct to carry their secretion, that is called exocrine gland. That's called exocrine gland. Then what is endocrine gland? The opposite of it. What is the opposite of it means? These glands, they don't have a duct. They don't have a duct to carry their secretion. Such glands are called endocrine glands. So what is endocrine gland? The glands which don't have. So what is endocrine gland? Endocrine glands are those glands which do not have duct to carry their secretion. Such glands are called endocrine glands. Okay, so in our body we have both exocrine gland as well as endocrine gland. Exocrine glands, they have a duct to carry the secretion, and endocrine glands, they don't have a duct to carry their secretion. Hence, they are also called ductless glands. They are also called ductless glands. Endocrine glands are also called they are also called ductless glands. Okay. Then, if they don't have a duct to carry their secretion, then how will it send it to from the place where it is produced to the place where it has to bring an action? Yes, we know very well the blood. Blood, you know, it connects. It connects all the organs. All the cells are connected by the blood, right? Because you know very well, sir, fluid connective tissue. So what they do, whatever they produce, right? The ductless gland, what they produce will directly they secrete or they pour it into the blood, and the blood will carry to the different parts, and whichever part it has to bring an action, only on that part it will bring an action. So what do they produce? Okay, is it an enzyme? Is it a juice? No. The endocrine gland produces hormones. They produce hormones, right? Hormones are the chemical messengers. They are the chemical messengers which are produced by the endocrine glands. They are the chemical messengers. Like how we have in case of nervous system, how the messages are carried in nervous system, it is electrical impulse. Okay, whereas here the hormones, they are the chemical messengers. Okay, so let us see. So let us see which are the different types of endocrine glands what we have. So we have different kinds of endocrine glands. They include pituitary gland. It includes pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, islets of Lange. Okay, I'll just give you pancreas, then pancreas and adrenal gland, okay, and the gonads. Okay, these are the different types of endocrine glands. Before getting into what is their function, let us learn what are these hormones. So we know what are hormones. So hormones are the chemical messengers, chemical substances which are produced only by the endocrine glands. So let us see what are the hormones, right? Hormones are chemical messenger that trigger specific physiological process. So they are chemical messenger which will produce, which will trigger only specific physiological process. It may be any of the processes, okay, which like various processes which are taking place inside our body, okay. Then, what is this hormone? What are they made up of? They may be proteins, amino acid, amines or steroids, okay. So, chemical basically they are nothing but proteins. Then, we should know what are target site. What is target site? See, we learned that hormones are produced by endocrine glands. What are endocrine glands? They are ductless glands. That means they don't have duct to carry their secretion. If they don't have a duct to carry the secretion, because of which they will secrete into the circulatory system, that is blood, right? And blood will reach all the parts of our body. And this, the blood will be carrying even the hormone. And this hormone which is produced will be entering all the different parts of our body, different cells, but action will not be in all the cells. Only on that particular cell or only on that particular tissue or on that particular organ only it will produce a action. That is called target site. What is target site? It acts on specific cells, tissues and organs called target sites, generally away from the place it is produced. Now what does that mean? See, like we have an endocrine gland which is located in our brain. That is the pituitary gland. When you draw the diagram, human brain, we have marked it pituitary gland. So it will produce several hormones. It will be carried by the blood and it will be showing action somewhere else. Like it has to bring an action on adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is present on the kidney. It is present on the kidney. So it has to bring an action on the adrenal gland. So it is always, generally, it is away from the place it is produced. Then, usually the action is slow. The hormones bring a change only very slowly, not like the nerve impulse. Nerve impulse is faster, whereas this is slower. And one more thing what we have to remember about hormones is that hormones should not be produced in excess or nor it should be produced in lesser quantity. Okay, hormones should not be produced in lesser quantity or it should not be over secreted. Okay, hormones should be secreted in an appropriate concentration. Usually hormones are secreted in a very low concentration. Okay, but that should not be more concentration, that is production of the hormone. Secretion of hormone should not be more. Over secretion is also wrong. It will lead to several disorder. And if it is under secreted, if it is secreted in lesser quantity, then it is also a problem. So there is some term for that is there hypersecretion and hyposecretion. So what is this hypersecretion? You know very well. What is hyper? Hyper means more. Okay, if the hormones are secreted in higher concentration, if hormones are secreted in higher secretion, or you can say over secretion or over secretion of hormone. Over secretion of hormone, we call it hypersecretion. Then the condition is called hypersecretion. What does hypersecretion means? When it is insufficient. That is insufficient secretion of hormone. Insufficient secretion of any hormone. Okay, we call it hyposecretion. division. Okay. So it should not be hyper, it should not be hypo, it should be appropriate. So that's about the hormone, right? What is hormone and what is hyper and hypo secretion of hormone? Okay, next is what is the main, why we need hormones? Everything we learned it, right? Hormones, like where the nerve impulses cannot reach. Nervous action cannot reach. There this endocrine system will reach. Like in case of cell growth, okay, cell differentiation, okay, cell division, cell permeability, cell growth, okay, cell division, cell differentiation. For all this thing, the endocrine system plays an important role. Okay, that is, I'll just make you understand what is cell differentiation. We have learned that in organism which reproduce sexually, that is, in sexual reproduction, the gametes will be produced. So male gametes will produce and female gametes will be produced, and the fusion of male and female gametes will result in fertilized egg. It will result in fertilized egg. Okay, that is, we know very well. It will, the fusion of male and female gamete results in fertilized egg, and this egg will undergo continuous cell division. For that we need hormone. It goes on dividing. The cell, the fertilized egg, one single cell will undergo several divisions. Cell division takes place continuously and it will become a ball of cell. Okay, and from that ball of cell, so many cells will be there. Each cell should get differentiated into eyes, nose, lungs, heart, brain, hand. All this should get differentiated. For that we need hormone. That's why endocrine system is very important. We have a separate branch of biology which studies about endocrine system. It is called endocrinology. So that's why it is very important. Now let us learn the different types of hormones produced by the endocrine glands and their function, and what happens if there is hypersecretion and what happens if there is hyposecretion of the hormone.